morning, everybody. It's 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Hopefully everybody has had a nice weekend thus far. I have no kids here at my house. Bueller's already in here, and he's got his coffee. Oh, no, he doesn't. He needs his coffee. You get free coffee. You should be going to get coffee every couple seconds. I got my tea this morning. I'm drinking my tea. I have no kids here. I'm sorry if there's noise coming from the heater this morning, but the house is being kept a little bit warm. My wife, cold weather for us this morning. Somebody needs to shovel snow, so I will catch this on the replay. Thanks, Tim, for coming by to say hello. Mr. Garrell's here this morning. Good morning, sir. So I'm doing this as a little thing for Tony Sanders. He tagged me in a video asking for people to do their year-end sort of wish list breakdown. What did you get? What were you hoping to get? What did you miss? And it had sort of got me thinking about things I wanted to do as an end-of-year wrap-up. So I wanted to put together a sort of recap of the year and look back at the year, sort of a classic top 10 list kind of thing. So Tony, your idea of tagging people in videos looking at their wish lists and their successes this year made me want to do this as a bigger event. So I'm going to do it in a series of 4. Why 4? Because my wish list for the year at the beginning of the year had 6 books on it, but I only got 4 of them, and they're right here. So this first episode, I'm going to be sharing the 4 books from my wish list that I was able to successfully get this year. Then, over the course of the next 3 videos after this, I'm going to look at my favorite covers of the year, my favorite storylines of the year, my favorite artists from the year, my favorite writers of the year, and my favorite single issues of the year. And so each of the videos will break down a few of my favorites from the year in groups of 4. Tony asked that I tag 3 people in this video, but I'm doing 4s. I'm going to tag 4 people in my video, and he's just going to have to deal with it. So here I've got Just a Rican, Rod, you are tagged. Matt Thanatos, you are tagged. The Boy Who Had the 7 is tagged, and Big Will is tagged. I've watched videos and subscribed to all these channels. Just recently, I added The Boy Who Had 7, so I'm getting to know his things. But these are all YouTube folks, and if you haven't seen any of their channels, definitely sub some of these gents up. And I've talked about them a bunch, and they usually leave comments on my videos, so you can probably find them pretty quickly that way if you need them sooner than I can add them. Good morning, everybody. Bueller, yeah, I do tea. I'm not a big coffee guy. Usually I'm a tea drinker. It might just be my British ancestry. I don't know. So those are my 4 people I'm tagging. In this video also, in this series of videos, I'm also going to be tagging 1 Instagrammer and 1 YouTuber and highlighting them for people that I really, really appreciate, so that in the end I'll have 4 Instagrammers and 4 YouTubers that I'm shouting out to give praise to. The first one for today is my Instagram person is Sasquatch210. He's also at Sasquatch the Secret Stash if you want to see stuff he's selling. So he has a selling account and a regular account. He's a really, really cool guy. And not only is he just like got a great attitude about comics and things, he is also a huge Lost fan, like I am and like Ryan is, and I'm hoping maybe some of you. And I'm a completely unapologetic Lost fan. So you can hate that last seasons or whatever. I like it all the way 100%. So there's no debating for me, at least. I even like Nikki and Paolo. That's how bad it is. Sorry to be this really loud. I should have opened this a little better earlier. As a fun little gift, when he saw how big a Lost fan I was, he sent this to me, and he sent me a little note. But he sent me a John Locke action figure, which is super freaking cool, man. So it's a display figure, and yeah, it's so dope. So apparently there's a whole Kate, Jack, Shannon, Hurley, Charlie, and Locke series of these. So I'm going to have to find a cool spot to display this. This is just so cool. And it includes the brochure for his walkabout. So let's see, Mr. Garrell says he never got to watch Lost. Should I go down the rabbit hole? Coincidentally, there's even an episode of the show called The Rabbit Hole. I think it's a phenomenal show. I really do like Damon Lindelof as a creator, and I loved his show The Leftovers on HBO. I'm looking forward to his Watchmen reimagining. It's not a shot-for-shot remake of The Watchmen like they kind of sort of were doing with the Zack Snyder version. This is sort of a look-ahead reimagining of The Watchmen, and I just think he's just phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to it. So my Instagram shout out is for Sasquatch210. He's a really cool guy, and you should check in with him. My YouTube shout out person is RB3. He's got an Instagram as well. He's been a little more active over there, but he is mainly on YouTube. Just search RB3. He's an amazing guy. You can even go into my liked videos. I just liked one of his this morning. He's doing a really cool series for Christmas, the 12 Days of Christmas, and he's doing all these fun giveaways for the month. He's really into original art, so he's sort of clearing out his comic collection. I've won 2 of his contests, so there's definitely a lot of joking between he and I about the fact that I tend to win all of his stuff. But I did not win his November contest. He's got a December one going, and then he's got a daily one going over the course of 12 days this month. So he's doing all kinds of cool giveaways going on. Let's see, halfway through the second season of Lost, it didn't work for my schedule. Yeah, everybody's got their taste. I know people that absolutely hate that show, and that's fine. But I absolutely loved every moment. I have like 8 or 9 different Lost shirts you might see me wearing on different ones of my videos. So for those just coming in, quick recap, this is part of a series I'm doing called Top 4. It was inspired by Tony Sanders, who was doing this activity regarding wish lists and how many of your books did you get off your wish list this year. I got 4 out of the 6 books on my wish list. So I'm going to do a series of 4 videos looking at the best of the year and my 4 best artists, covers, all those kinds of things. I'm also tagging 4 cool people from Instagram and YouTube. Just Rican is in the room, so I'm tagging you, Just Rican. Be ready. Thanatos is not in here. I don't think Boy Who Had 7 or Big Will are in here yet, but those people are all tagged to go and hopefully add to their things. I know Simon, you got tagged this morning, or at least last night, by Jeffrey Comic-Con, so he's in this thing as well. So thank you, Tony, for getting this all started. So I had a wish list of 6 books this year, some of them very big grails for me, some of them smaller, like I wanted to fill in a key in a run. So my wish list is very odd and eclectic, and it had things as big as my first book that I got, which I've been sharing a lot lately. This was it's always been #1 on my wish list for years and years, and I finally got it this year. So this would be the big grail for me this year, my Giant Size X-Men. But then on the other end, all the way down on the low end, I would have something like Vision issue 5. I had this whole run. I even had 2 issues, copies of issue #1. But for some reason, I could not find this at a reasonable price. Everybody wanted like 25 bucks because the print run was somewhat low. And so to find one of these issue 5s took me a really long time just to complete that run. So my wish lists are usually very broad like that. I tend to have big grails and then smaller books at the same time. So this one didn't cost me a lot. It just took me a lot of work to get to it. Yeah, I don't know why this one, Alec is saying this particular issue had a lower print run. I didn't know that, but I knew that the run as a whole had a low print run. And Alec, White Whale Comics, if you are watching and you click on him, he did a breakdown with his wife of the first 6 issues of this run. It's just a great Tom King story. And I've always really liked it. And it was just hard to collect all the individual issues to kind of get the whole thing. So those are 2 of the 4 books that I had on my wish list. Now I'll go to the 2 that I didn't get this year. Daredevil issue 7 is the first appearance of his red suit, and I had that on my wish list the last couple of years. I really kind of want to get some of those earlier Daredevil issues, and so I'm looking forward to that book. And then Saga #1 has been on my wish list for a couple of 2-3 years as well, just because when I started reading that book, I realized this is something special, and it'd be nice to have the first issue. So I did not get either of those. Those are the 2 books that I completely missed out on. Do you know that the Vision was in the Golden Age and was created by Simon Comics? Man, you drop knowledge like crazy. So Simon Comics is saying the Vision was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby in the Golden Age. That's mind-blowing right there. White Whale Comics, get out of here, dude. Uh-oh. Sorry, my dad is trying to call me this morning. I don't know what he needs this morning. Whatever. White Whale Comics, get out of here. A 9.8 of Saga 1. Dude, that is sick. That is some sick things. Let's see who else is in here. Tony, I'm making my video but wanted to wait. Oh, yeah. So Tony also has several competitions going on. His 250, I think, might have just ended. But his, or is it, Tony will let me know. Did your 250 end? His 400 subscriber competition goes through till Valentine's Day, I think. And that one asks you to share your wish list for 2019. Well, this video series I'm doing is going to end with that episode. My 4th episode will be my wish list for next year. So you can see that. That'll be my contribution to that contest for him as well. Let's see here. Off the shelf. Oh my, he bought that off the shelf. White Whale, you are killing me. 9.8 off the shelf is nuts. So I've got 2 books left to share for my 4 books that I got from my wish list this year. And this is not all encompassing. Obviously, there were a lot of books that I got this year that were not on my wish list, that I never thought I'd get, or that were an opportunity that arose and I just had to snag it. But these were the other 2 books that I really wanted to get. This one is a sentimental book for me. I know there's a lot of G.I. Joe haters in the world, just like there's Ninja Turtle haters and whatever else. I loved the G.I. Joe comic as a kid and the toys and the show and all that stuff. But this issue is sentimental more just because of the quality of the storytelling. It's iconic. That in a whole issue would be silent is really powerful, and it was a somewhat new idea. And I just really, really love the storytelling device of this book. And I never owned one. I think I might have had one when I was really little that just was beat up and it lost its cover and was just destroyed. And I'm just glad to finally have an issue of it now. It's not perfect. It's definitely lived a little bit of a life, but I'm definitely with Tony Sanders on. I don't care about the grade as long as the value and the price that I'm putting in is worth the book. His issue 1 is at CBCS right now. Let's see. December 6th. Okay, so Tony Sanders is saying his 250 contest goes for another 4 more days. So if you have not done Tony's 250 subscriber contest, get in there quick. He's also got a 400 subscriber contest that you can get into before the end of the year. And that's what I'm going to be doing at the end of the month. So here's my 4th book. I had to complete my Ed Brubaker run. I had issues 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that variant cover. I have the variant of the first Winter Soldier cover where you have Bucky Barnes on the cover, and I have that one signed by Brubaker and Epting, but I did not have issue 1, and I really wanted to complete that run. So this was on my wish list for 2018, and I was very happy to find this for a good price. So again, my wish list for 2018 was a little bit diverse, a little bit unusual. And so as a result, I had some books that were really reasonably priced within $20 or less. And then some, obviously, like Saga and Giant Size X-Men that were significantly more than that. So I was lucky to get a little bit of everything. And I'm already looking ahead at my 2019 list. And I'm already seeing books that I want that are like dollar bin, $5 books. I just need to find them. And then books that are, will I ever afford this book? And I'm fairly certain some of the ones, one of the 2 that I missed out on at least, might make an appearance there as well. Lots of chat going on right now. See, everybody's talking about Tony and his contests. Back next year. People are talking about all of Tony's contests, man. The race. Oh, man. Like a space cop. Oh, I think Vision in the Golden Age, a new character wanted, and then Roy wanted to bring that character back, but Stan wanted an android, so they made. Okay, I see what they're saying. So Simon's giving me information on the birth of the Vision in that character. That sounds intense. That sounds cool. I'll have to go back and research some of that. The year is not over. There'll be a steal this month, and get a few more books if you want. I agree, but I've also spent more this year on comics than ever before. And I think I maxed out on comics, so much so that everybody in my family that's buying me Christmas gifts has already bought me those gifts, because I got all these books for Christmas, and then they're already packaging them up, so I won't even get them till Christmas Day. So I think I'm done for this year, and I'm fine with that. It was an insanely good year for that and for my collection. Okay, so I'm kind of done. I'm just going to run back through everything real quickly. Tony Sanders got this all started for me. I wanted to do a year in review, a year in wrap up, but I wanted to kind of figure out how to frame it. And Tony did a great video. Actually, he's got two things that kind of spurred this on. One, he did a video saying, for his contest for 400 subscribers, let me know what books you're hunting, 6 books you want to get in 2019. And I thought, okay, well, I want to do that, but I want to do that at some point later on. Then he said, what are the books from 2018 that you got? So I combined that into a series of 4 videos that I'm doing, and I'm going to call it my top 4. The first episode is this one, and I'm breaking down the 4 books that I got that were on my wish list. The last episode will be looking at the books for next year. In between, the next 2 videos are going to be looking at my favorite 4s from this year. My 4 favorite artists, my 4 favorite storylines, my 4 favorite single issues, my 4 favorite covers. And I'll be scattering those episodes from now through the end of the year. In each episode, I'm going to highlight a YouTuber and an Instagram person that I think are just really cool. Hopefully somebody that's a little undervalued and that everybody should be checking in on. So that by the end of the series, I'll have 4 Instagrammers and 4 YouTubers who might get a little bit more notice that they deserve. So the YouTuber for this video is RB3. And RB3 is a good buddy who's mentioned a lot in Reggie Collects videos, but I still think he's shockingly undervalued. He's got great content. And on top of that, he's doing some really cool giveaways. Oops, sorry. Some really cool giveaways in December. So definitely check in on RB3. Then my recommendation for Instagram is Mr. Sasquatch 220. And he has 2 accounts. One is the Secret Stash, where he's selling comics, and one is his regular Instagram account, Sasquatch 210. All right. He sent me a gift because I'm a huge Lost fan, and I opened that at the very beginning here. It's a I don't know if it's posable, actually. I think it's just a display figure from Lost of John Locke, and it includes his little walkabout pamphlet, which is so awesome. Reggie is the Casey Kasem of comics. Well, with the voice, right? Definitely with that voice. White Whale's doing, I'm going to pushing to 333 subs contest soon. Ooh, very exciting. I had a wild night because I took a screenshot because I hit 600 followers on Instagram, and I was very excited by this. I woke up in the morning to brag about it, and I had lost 5 subscribers in the night. So I was back down to 695. Now I'm, oh, sorry, 595. Now I'm at like 597. So I had the screenshot already, and I was super excited to share. And I'm glad I went and just looked at my total, because for some reason I lost a whole bunch of subscribers or followers in the night. I guess it goes to show, right? You never know what's going on. People coming and going. Yeah, it was like a wild ride for me. The Human Torch, Toro, Simon Comics is he just drops knowledge, man. I feel like I could just listen to his channel and to his chats when he jumps in and get so much cool knowledge out of it. So then I'm highlighting or tagging 4 people as part of this series. That's part of what Tony Sanders is asking. He said to tag 3, and then I tagged 4. So Justin Reekin's in here. So this just means all you need to do is let us know, hey, what did you get from your wish list? What were your big books that you snagged this year, the ones that meant the most to you? And then I shared my 4. And I had Captain America, Brubaker's #1. I had the silent issue of G.I. Joe, issue 21. Vision, issue 5, which was one of the lowest print runs in that 12-issue series. And then my giant size X-Men, which I've got to stop sharing because I kind of feel like I share it a lot, but it is just that grail for me, so it tends to get that one. It's that's like my subs. I go to sleep, I lose 5. I go to work, I gain 7. Tony, I don't believe that your number ever goes down. That's not possible. He was doing his 250 subscriber contest and he hits 400 in the middle of doing that contest. The guy is on fire. He is out of control. On top of which, he's doing great content and releasing so many cool videos. I can't even keep up with this guy. So that's pretty much it for my video. Stay tuned. I'm going to have 2 more videos in this series before I have the final 4th episode where I go over my books for next year. Thank you to Tony Sanders for doing all these great videos and sort of inspiring a lot of these cool things. My schedule this next week, I'm hosting with Jeffrey Comic-Con on Wednesday, and then Tony is hosting me with Jeffrey Comic-Con and JD on Friday. So I've got 2 live streams coming up this week. Very, very excited for those 2. So mine is the New Comic Book Day Book Club, and we are reading Die issue 1 from Image. So a new book, and Jeffrey's going to read that and break it down with us. And then Friday night is The Hunt. And Tony, I've got my books. I've been ready for so long. I just have to narrow I've got like 12, and I've got to go down to 8 and then pick the 2 that I'm going to really share. So I'm excited for that as well. So tune in to Tony. You guys are all subscribed to each other. I'm not really worried about that. So make sure you hit the like button. I'm going to do it right now. And thank you guys for coming in and checking this out. I really do appreciate it. I want to hear about your books that you got this year and the books you're looking forward to next year. So definitely leave me comments. If there's a book you think I need to know about for my top 4 lists coming up, your favorite cover, your favorite story, your favorite single issue, you let me know what's going on, and I'll check to see if I've picked up that book this year. All right. Looks like Simon Comics has a live stream on December 4th, so check out that. 5:30 to 6:30. He's doing a live drawing. Ooh, nice. So check in on him. He's got some live streams coming up. And I know that Just a Rican has one coming up next Saturday. So take a look for his channel for that one. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you coming by. And I will see you guys Wednesday night, I hope.